Yellow. I hope you're all having a good day today, because I know I am. Welcome to the stream. That's right. I got my own badge. I am legally able to practice law as long as I have this thing on my chest. Which is why anytime I give you, if I give you any advice, just know I am not your lawyer and this is not legal advice. Oh shit. I dropped my controller between my thighs and it fell. That was scary. I got scared a little bit. I haven't done much today. No, ma'am. But I do have a desk coming in. So I will finally be able to have my actual setup going again. I will be able to set up my tablet. I'll be able to set up a bunch of other things. It's just we'll have a bunch of shit to do. I'm finally gonna be able to do some stuff and we'll Inhale's lawyer game. So fucking true. It is time for law. We are practicing law here. Hey Ichi. Welcome to the stream. I hope I don't royally fuck up in fucking the third Phoenix Wright game. Because the last trial of the last game did not go super well. I got the bad ending. I have an achievement for getting the bad ending. And then, you know, I went back and I got the good ending. But I don't think this one has a bad ending. As far as I'm aware. I'm pretty sure the second game is literally the only one that has, like, a bad ending in the game. Like, in the whole series. Which I think is fucking hilarious. It's fucking time, baby. Do I go to new game or continue? I think I go to new game, and then I go over to fucking Trials and Tribulations, baby. Let's Triley Tribulate. Oh, fuck, it's Mia. Yay. Mia's here. How did I get into this mess? Why? Why did I do that? That girl. You shouldn't see her anymore. Hey, it's none of your business. I'm telling you for your sake. If you continue to see her, it's gonna be bad news. You're lying! Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl. Stop it! Don't talk about her like that! Oh, his funny sweater and his scarf. Oh, he did kill this guy, though. It wasn't me! I didn't do it! I don't know. It looks like you did it. Case closed. Nick is a criminal. 5 years earlier. Mia Fey, second trial. 5 years before that? April 11th, 9:40 a.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 3. Whew. It's finally time. I'm kind of nervous. Ahem. Oh, Mr. Grossberg. Good morning. Mia, please calm yourself down. You're going to get yourself arrested for suspicious behavior, you know. What are you talking about? I am relaxed, Mr. Grossberg. Look at me. I'm relaxed. Let go of my lapels. You obviously haven't got the temperament to be a lawyer. I'm so sorry. It's just that I'm so nervous today. Oh, that's right. This is your first time in the big leagues, isn't it? Oh my god, is this is Mia's, like, first no, it's her second trial ever? Well, never you fear, my dear. I, Marvin Grossberg, am at your service. Actually, this is my second time in court. Still, you surprised me, what with your earnest request last night. Let me handle this case, you suddenly said. And quite forcefully, too. I just found out yesterday about the case, I mean. What? And you've already learned all the relevant facts? Well, about that, you see, I mean, of course I have. I think. Fat fuck Friday. Thank you so much for the subscription, level 1 cleric. Welcome to the stream. Grossberg is here. Oh dear. In any case, don't let our client see you are so nervous. You see the poor young man in the pink sweater over there? That's our client. Wait, but isn't this 5 years before that? Oh, fuck. Good morning there, everybody. Good morning. Try to keep smiling, Mia. I just want to say, I'll give it all I got. Yep, it'll be fine. No problem. Oh, what's wrong? Do you have a cold or something, Mr. Rye? Actually, it's right. Like the Flying Brothers? People screw it up all the time. And yes, I have a cold. That's what the mask is for. My doc says this way, I won't give it to anyone else. Be kind to others, he says. Right, Mr. Wright. You have nothing to fear in court today. If you are truly innocent, I promise I will save you. Ugh. Please, let go of my shirt. That's right. He's the one on trial, not you. He's the one who should be nervous. You need to stay strong for your client, Mia. My name is Mia Fey. I'm still pretty new at this lawyer thing. The first time I appeared in court was a year ago. A year between trials? But that trial traumatized me so badly, I thought I'd never set foot in another courtroom. Oh. It's been 1 year since then, and, well, here I am again. But this time I'm going to win. For my client, and for myself. Phoenix Wright. April 11th, 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 2. Mia, your tits are way bigger than this guy's. There's no way you can lose in court. That's just how it works. Court is now in session for the trial of Phoenix Wright. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. He's got a pompadour. The defense today is, Miss Mia Fey, was it? Yes, Your Honor. Is there a problem? I was under the impression that Marvin Grossberg was to be leading the defense. Yes, well, you see, Mr. Grossberg had a bit of an emergency. Emergency? But isn't that him standing there right next to you? Yes, well, oh my god, they're both fucking terrible at making shit up on the spot. That is so funny. You're just a rookie. Are you sure you can really handle this? Don't let him scare you, Mia. Give him your toughest look. Of course, Your Honor. I think... Well, Mr. Payne, your opening statement, please. Well. I can't believe a veteran like me has to spend his time babysitting a new defense lawyer. Don't worry, little girl. It'll all be over soon. That's what I tell my wife when I convince her to have sex with me. What was that all about? Oh my goodness. Objection. Fuck you. Thank you for the subscription, teams. Oh my god. It's true. Fat fuck Phoenix Fridays really does bring in the viewers. We're at a level 1 hype train, baby. Oh yes. I promise you, YouTube viewers, it is there and it is at 62%. What was that all about? Was he trying to trash talk me? Now then, I'd like to proceed with a summary of events on the day in question. The incident occurred on the campus of Ivy University. The murder victim was a student named Doug Swallow. He was a 4th-year student studying pharmacology. Sounds like he was a very bright young man. Yes, well, next we have a photo taken at the scene of the crime. You see, he was electrocuted by these wires. He saw it snap and then reached up and grabbed it with his hand and died instantly. It was very sad. Literally, they call it a murder. I can tell, like, what happened literally just looking at this picture. Holding an umbrella, electrical wire snaps. He makes contact with the wire while grounded. The electricity the live wire like, goes straight through him. It's easy shit. Students discover the scene shortly after the murder. They found the victim's body and the defendant, who had obviously bungled his getaway. Then they called the police. That certainly makes the defendant look very suspicious indeed. Doug Twa swallow on that thing. Well, thank you for the bits, Teeps. That's very kind of you. The court accepts this photo into the record as evidence. By the way, I can't quite tell the cause of death from this photo. Your reputation for sagacity is well earned, Your Honor. The truth is that this victim died a rather unusual death. An unusual death? What do you mean, Mr. Payne? Well, perhaps the defense would like to take this question. Huh? A simple question. I thought I might loosen you up a bit. I am a genteel man, if you will. What? Stand up to him, Mia. Show him what you're made of. Perfect opportunity. Well, what was it? The cause? Go on. Please say you know at least this much. I'm so sorry. I didn't get a chance to read through the whole file. Oh my god. Cause of death was fatal electric shock. I could have told you that from the picture. My hemorrhoids are beginning to act up. You are standing up. Now see here. The details of this case are filed under the court record. But you knew that already, didn't you? Ah, the court record. I think I can see that by pressing tab. No, it's R1. It's right here. All of the weapons we need can be found in the court record. Take a good hard look at the data there and think carefully before you answer, my dear. Yes, sir. I'll do just that. I've got to stay calm. I can't let that prosecutor get the better of me. The court record. Okay, let's take a look. Now then, would the attorney for the defense please answer the question? What was the cause of death? Electrocution. According to the court record, it was a fatal electric shock. In other words, electrocution. Electrocution? But how would such a thing happen? Did the murderer use some type of new super powerful stun gun, perhaps? Your Honor, please, I regret to inform you, this is not, what is it? Fucking... It's not, what is it, Conviction? What is it? It's like a fucking cop game where you play as it's mostly melee combat, but they give you a stun gun, and then they give you a super stun gun at some point. It's very funny. I think it's like... Conviction, Criminal Origins? Condemnation. Criminal Origins. That's the one. The answer to that will become crystal clear as this trial proceeds, Your Honor. YouTube, I need you to know there are only 30 seconds left on this hype train. It is 94%, and it is about to blow up at the station. Your Honor, the killer was Electro from Spider-Man. But you know that his electric shocks are drawn towards metal objects. If the man didn't have any metal object on him, how did it strike him? But before that, there is one more vital issue. What's that? Why, motive, of course. Apparently, there was some bad blood between the victim and the defendant. Bad blood? What do you mean? Oopsie, I'm terribly sorry. You're the defense attorney, so you must know all about it. I shouldn't be stealing... I appreciate the cheer, Teeps. You were like 5 seconds too late. You almost got that emote, Teeps. You were that close, and that was definitely the goose one. Or whichever one it is that you wanted. I do really appreciate it, though. I would bring back the hype train if I could. The goose is level 7? Oh my god. I should be stealing your spotlight like this. I really don't like this guy's smug attitude. That's Winston Payne for you. He's one smooth operator, if you catch my drift. They don't call him the rookie killer for nothing, you know. Now then, let's hear from the defense. What was the source of the bad blood between the victim and the defendant? And this time, I would like to see some supporting evidence. Evidence? No need to get all worked up over this. As I said, all our weapons can be found in the court record. Find the evidence you need and then shove it in old Greybeard's face. Yes, sir. Into old Greybeard's face. Mr. Grossberg, try to set a better example for the young lady. Mia, evidence isn't the only thing in the court record. People's profiles are as well. You can toggle between profiles and evidence with tab, so be sure to go over it all. Now then, let's see what you've got. What was the cause of the bad blood between Phoenix Wright and the victim? Dated Doug Swallow until 8 months ago. The reason for the bad blood between the two of them was this woman here. Dahlia Hawthorne, is it? Grossberg be like, oh, my ass 400,000 times this game. I am not looking forward to that, to be quite honest. Very good, Miss Faye. You seem to have picked up on at least this much. This woman is the girlfriend of the defendant, Phoenix Wright. But up until about 8 months ago, she was with the victim, Mr. Swallow. Clearly, she has some part to play in this story. He's done it again. Before the cross-examination starts, he's already got the judge thinking like he wants. Very well, Mr. Payne. Please call your first witness. If it pleases the court, the prosecution would like to call Mr. Phoenix Wright. What? The defendant himself? Well, Miss Faye? It's fine. After all, Mr. Wright is innocent, right? The defense has no objection. Very well. The court calls Mr. Phoenix Wright to the witness stand. Mr. Cum Swallow would have been a better name. I don't know about that one. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Yes. My name is Phoenix Wright. My job is, well, right now, I guess I'm a suspect. No. Reread it. Not better, funnier. Okay, I mean, maybe? But it doesn't tie into the story at all. No, he means what did you do before you were arrested? Oh, I was a university student. Mr. Wright, you understand that you are suspected in the death of your fellow student, Doug But I didn't do it. I'm innocent, I tell you. I'm telling you, I was... Would the defendant please refrain from passing on his cold to the rest of us? It seems the witness has something he wants to say. Well then, Mr. Wright, please tell us about your relation to the victim. Right away, Your Honor. The Victim and I, by Phoenix Wright. I admit I was there, but I'm not a killer. All I did was find his body. I hardly knew the guy to begin with. I never did talk to that stuck-up British wannabe. Why does he know? How does he know he's British? I see. So you hardly knew the victim. Right, like I said, I'm not a killer. Whew, looks like the judge understands. You're being naive, you know. Too naive. Huh? It seems that you forgot one small thing, young lady. And that would be... This witness still has to undergo something called cross-examination. Cross-examination? He's right, and it's the defense's duty to carry out the cross-examination. The purpose is to determine if a witness's testimony contains any contradictions. Contradictions? If a witness is lying, their statements will conflict with the court record. But Mr. Wright is my client. Bounces my pompadour stupidly. That is his, like, he is very proud of it. Even though he really shouldn't be. Even if he is your client in court, all lies must be struck down. As a lawyer, that is your duty, you see. What does he mean by that? Is he saying that testimony just now, that there was a lie? A contradiction? Now then, your cross-examination, if you please, Miss Fay. Please, Mr. Wright, tell me you haven't been lying. You wouldn't do that to me, would you? You wouldn't fucking lie, you son of a bitch. When you say there, you mean the place where the victim was murdered? Yeah, sort of. The place where something happened anyway. That Phoenix Wright pre-Ace Attorney is a fucking criminal, liar, murderer, piece of shit. I know, it's what makes him such a great lawyer. Something? You can't hide what happened. We have photographic evidence. Anyway, Mr. Wright, what were you doing at the scene of the crime? I thought you said you didn't know the victim, Mr. Swallow. It was just a coincidence. We bumped into each other by accident. A coincidence, huh? You say you found the body, so who called the police? Huh? Unfortunately, it was some other students that notified the police. Other students? That's correct. They were witnesses. Witnesses who saw the defendant standing there next to the body in shock. What? Is this true, Mr. Wright? Could you stop sneezing every time you're in a bind? Well, it's true that I was pretty shocked when I found the body, but I hardly knew the guy to begin with. So, you didn't know his face, or even his name, right? Right. Well, no. That is, I mean... So, which is it? Did you know him or not? Now see here! You can't avoid answering the questions by sneezing all day. Well, I guess I did know his name. News to me? Why didn't he tell me that before? I heard he used to date Dolly. Who is this Dolly, a person? Ah, yes, that would be the defendant's lover, Miss Dahlia Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Oh, I see. Ah, young love. So bittersweet. But that's all I knew about him. Mr. Wright, you stated the following in your testimony. I hardly knew the guy to begin with. That's right. I mean, why would I even... But that doesn't sound right. If you hardly knew him, then why would you say that the victim was a stuck-up British wannabe? Because he was always talking about how he wanted to be British. And he stuck his nose up all the time. Well, Mr. Wright? No, it wasn't me. I'm not a killer, I swear. Not the question. Mr. Wright, I will give you an opportunity to revise your testimony. How is it that you knew the victim was, as you put it, a British wannabe? Teaboo. Yeah, exactly. Yes, well... He was always walking around with a huge Union Jack on the back of his shirt. Oh, so he was a punk. Okay. Did you see it at the crime scene? The Union Jack, I mean. Yes, that's right. I saw it at the crime scene. That's why I figured you must love British stuff, see? It's true. Cross my heart. I swear I didn't do it. He's acting fishier than the salmon I ate last night. May I ask you something, Miss Fay? Yes, Your Honor? What is it now? Your Honor, even if I did kill him, he was a teaboo, which is almost as bad as being British. You should be thanking me. Hypothetically. In this hypothetical scenario. You're not British, are you, Judge? I'm just curious. Who is this person, anyway? This Union Jack fellow? The Union Jack is the name of the United Kingdom's flag. Oh, I see. So you mean like the stars and stripes, right? As usual, Your Honor, your insight astounds me. Hey, something just occurred to me. Isn't there something strange about this bit now? Just now? Fucking load me in, damn you. Oh my god, everybody's coming in with the subscriptions today. Thank you so much for the subscription, Uplink. Welcome back to the stream. My man Union Jack will unite the proletariat. Somehow I doubt that. Mia, there's a contradiction here. Mr. Grossberg. Quickly now, show that boy you mean business. With evidence, I mean. Okay, Mia, check the court record carefully. I already know what it is. Well, my dear, do you think you can manage on your own from this point? I got it. 1 year ago, I was in a courtroom just like this. I can do it. I can handle this myself. You mustn't try to bite off more than you can chew, Mia. I'll be fine. I know what I have to do. Remember, you can always press him to get more information. Oh, and one more thing. When you're going to state a contradiction, make sure you present some definitive proof. Okay, Mia. One more time from the very beginning of his testimony. Free 10-pull ticket in Limbus? Yeah, because they did their live stream or whatever. There is no fucking Union Jack in this picture. Yeah, he's not wearing it. Are you certain you saw the Union Jack? Should I go for more Mersault or the Yi-Sang ego? I don't know. That's a hard choice. I'm pretty sure the free ticket they give you is the one that's for the special banner that guarantees 1 3-star, but it's not a specific, you know, thingamajig. Yeah, I'm sure. It was right there on his back. Miss Faye, is there some point to this line of questioning? Your Honor, please take another look at the crime scene photo. As you can see, there's absolutely nothing on the victim's back. Hey, wait a minute! He's wearing a leather jacket! The Union Jack was on the back of the t-shirt he was wearing. I was under the impression that you accidentally came across the body. But if that was really the case, then you wouldn't know that, would you? Shows my attorney badge. Hell yes! Arknights collab it well. I am very excited for the Arknights collab with Limbus. Because I love Arknights so much, but I am so bad at the video game. You would have no idea what he was wearing underneath that jacket. Mr. Wright, you've been lying to me. But please forgive me. Mia, you've made our client cry. Let him. That P on his chest doesn't stand for Phoenix anyway. They're gonna turn Amiya into a pile of mincemeat. No, they're not. I'm pretty sure Amiya could kill literally any sinner. She can blast beams out of her hands. GB Faust whacking Dante with a bat. I can't believe I trusted him. Mr. Wright was all wrong. Hee. That was an impressive bit of cross-examination. Thank you for uncovering the defendant's lies for me. It's quite clear that this man does not simply stumble upon the scene of the crime. Oh, did I go too far? By the way, Mr. Wright, you seem to have a rather bad cold. Have you taken any medicine for it? Yeah, I took some, but... Was the medicine that you took an over-the-counter brand called Cold Killer X? Sinner IDs as Arknights characters? Yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah, that's right. It kills colds good. Hey, wait a second. How did you know I'm a big fan of Cold Killer X? Hehehe. Would you happen to have that medicine with you right now? Well, actually, I seem to have lost it somewhere. He lost it? Does this even have anything to do with the case? Mia, they found the medicine at the crime scene. Come on. The new ID for Dawn. I would say I'm going feral. It would be fucking sick if they just full on just had each of the IDs be just who they would be in Arknights, rather than like a connection to an existing Arknights character. I think that'd be pretty sick. Mr. Wright, Shall I tell you where your cold medicine is right now? Huh? Your Honor, I'd like you to take a look at another photo from the crime scene.
Ooh, what's this? In the victim's hand, it's Cold Killer X!
Abyssal Hunter Ishmael? Oh, that would be so sick. They already said which characters? Oh, I gotta know which ones. Come on. Tell me Ryoshu is one of them. Tell me? An Otis? Can we get an Otis W? Faust is definitely gonna be because everybody loves Faust. No? Raja and Heathcliff? Just them? Please. Oh, okay. I was like, what? Yes, but even I've got a bottle of Cold Killer X in my apartment. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid that argument won't work. There's no doubt as to who this bottle of Cold Killer X belongs to. Especially since Mr. Wright's fingerprints are all over it. What? What if it's Cold Killer the 10th? Cold Killer 10, you see. Sensing his murderous intent, Mr. Swallow must have picked up the bottle of medicine dropped by Mr. Wright and hid it in his hand. His purposes in doing so can only have been to identify his killer as Phoenix Wright.
Order! Order in the court!
His pernicious top knot. Your Honor, I'd like to present this photo and bottle as evidence.
Very well.
Faust, Gregor, Honglu, and Ishmael. Well, I'm glad Ishmael is one of them. And Faust, too.
Very well. The court will accept them into the record.
Also, the victim's wristwatch was broken.
Broken?
Yes, it ceased functioning when a large wave of electricity passed through it. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have some kind of explanation for all of this? This is really bad.
Oh, my buttocks. My poor hemorrhoids.
Ami as an announcer? I definitely would want fucking Ami as announcer. Funny bunny. I hope we get Culted as an announcer. That would be sick. Ugh, my ass. So real. The truth is, I went because he called me. He was in the pharmacology department, so we agreed to meet at 2:45 behind the building. Doctor as an announcer. We talked for a bit, and then at around 3, we split up. Then later, when I went back, I found him lying there. I'd been taking Cold Killer X for at least 2 or 3 days, but I lost my bottle of it around lunchtime on the day of the accident.
Mr. Wright, that's completely different from the testimony you gave previously.
Yes, because we've established he was lying. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I was afraid you would believe the truth. You'll forgive me if I hardly find your current testimony any more credible.
Miss Faye, please begin your cross-examination.
Oh, please, Mr. Wright, don't tell any more lies. Had you ever met the victim before then? No, never! But that day he called me up and told me he wanted to talk about Dolly. Faust as Cal with her little kitty ears. I hope at least one of them is a little cat girl. Is it fun cross-examining Feeny? It would be more fun if he knew what he was doing, I think.
And this Dolly person is...
it's kind of embarrassing. She's my sweetheart. She's just my little sweet pea. She's my little pet, my little cherry pie.
Oh, what was that for, Mia?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I just felt like slapping something all of a sudden. Cal, but it's a Gregor ID with Monster as his arm. That actually does sound kind of sick. Dahlia Hawthorne was the lover of the murder victim, Doug Swallow. Before she met Mr. Wright, that is.
So it was one of those nasty love triangles, I see.
What was it, Mr. Swallow, was it Mr. Swallow who indicated you should meet at 2:45? Yeah, and we were both there right on time.
You said the victim was in the pharmacology department, correct?
Yeah, he was studying how to manufacture and improve pharmaceuticals.
Everyone called him the alchemist of IVU.
Gregor's gonna have magic rock cancer? Oh yeah. Gregor 100% is gonna be a highly infected caster, if I had to guess. He has auropathy, for sure. Black Friday deals for PSN suck ass this year. Black Friday deals have sucked since years ago. If they had Ryoshu, she should have been Lapland. That would have been crazy sick. Like, that would have been fucking awesome. Or Texas. I mean, both really work. It would have been really funny if they made her, fucking, what is her name? The cat girl with huge tits that has a katana, and she's like a cat snake girl. I can't remember her name. She's like a 3-star unit. Utage? Yeah, fucking Utage. Ryoshu as Utage. Utage bloodlust moment.
An alchemist. I see.
I gotta admit, it was a little suspicious. He had a whole laboratory and everything. It was filled with chemicals and strange machines that run on high voltage electricity. He was like fucking Dr. Frankenstein or some shit in there.
Oh, how fascinating. It sounds like he was quite an ambitious young man.
What do I do? Maybe I should ask him for some more details? Timing of the meeting, I guess? Ryoshu, but the tits are 3 times the size of her head ID. It's like, oh my god, they fucking bimbo-fied her. Part of her appeal is she's a fucking bookmark. She's a little bookmark freak. Ryoshu, but she's just in like Utage's outfit, but all of her clothes are way too big. So you're absolutely certain that you met at 2:45? Yeah, pretty sure. That's the time class ends. But they're always doing experiments, so it doesn't matter much. If she had bigger boobs, she wouldn't be so fucking unwell. I think she would be more unwell with big boobs. Experiments? Yeah, those pharmacology guys are always in the lab whipping up something. Well, it looks like he's right about the time anyway. Witness, let's get on with your testimony. So what was it you were talking about? You know, that maybe we should hang out again sometime. Hang out again sometime. I wish that were true. So you say you went back? Yeah, that's when I found the body. Yes, but why did you go back in the first place? Weren't you angry with him? Well, that's right, I was. Then why, Mr. Wright? Why did you go back there? I thought maybe we could make up. Judging by the atmosphere, I'm pretty sure no one is buying this. It's rather unusual to catch a cold this time of the year, isn't it? Yeah, I always get a little careless when the weather starts to warm up. I guess I shouldn't sleep with the window open this early in spring, huh? I suppose common sense is not always common. So, did anyone else know that you were taking cold medicine? Well, I always took one after meals, so I'm pretty sure all my friends knew about it. On the day of the incident, what did you do for lunch? Huh? What does that have to do with anything? You can never be too sure. I always eat with Dolly, just the two of us. Dolly's homemade lunches are just the greatest. Her mini omelets are magically delicious.
Ow! Well, why did you punch me in the jaw?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I just felt like hurting someone all of a sudden.
Well, Mia?
I don't know. I can't seem to find any contradictions. The boy isn't exactly what I'd call a natural-born liar, you know. But still, we can't have him continue to spout nonsense. I know, but what can I do? Well, I'm certain he must still be hiding something. Information. Right now, it's information we need more of than anything else. Let's see, what do we got? Watch stopped at time of death. Oh, right. Because it stopped at fucking 3:10-ish? Yeah, like 3:10. I want to ask about the pharmacology department. Making curry? Oh, Holiday is making curry too. I was wondering if you could tell us a bit more about the pharmacology department. Well, okay, sure. I don't know all that much, though. I got shrimp? Nice. A little bit earlier in your testimony, you said something interesting. You said the department uses strange machines that run on high-voltage electricity. That's right, and they sure look dangerous. They use non-standard voltages, so there are high-voltage cables everywhere. That's fucking crazy. High-voltage cables? Yeah, there were electrical poles set up all around the building. The high-voltage cables run overhead around the roof. Finally, I think we're getting somewhere.
I think that's enough for now. So the defendant and the victim met approximately at the time of his death. And then the defendant returned to the scene for some unknown reason.
I'm not entirely convinced by his explanation about the medicine bottle, either. It's a civil suit waiting to happen? Yeah, no shit.
Let me be frank here, Mr. Wright. Your testimony cannot be trusted.
But what do you mean? I knew it was too much work for a little girl.
However, there is one mystery that still remains.
There is, Your Honor?
How the murder was carried out, of course. Just how was the victim electrocuted? I don't believe the murder weapon has been produced yet, correct?
Well, that is, you are correct, Your Honor. So how exactly was Mr. Swallow killed? If I could somehow establish how it was done, maybe I could still come out of this mess smelling like a rose. Yeah, murder method. Your Honor.
Yes, Miss Vey?
I believe that if we were to piece together everything we've heard up till now, we should be able to solve that mystery of how Mr. Swallow died.
That would be most impressive.
Hee. Quite the brash statement coming from a rookie. But even a beginner like you must understand the basic rules of the court, yes? An attorney must be able to substantiate their arguments with evidence. Of course I know that. Actually, I had totally forgotten about that.
Now then, Miss Vey, let's see what you've got. Show me how you believe the victim was electrocuted.
Yeah. Just this picture, right? Yeah, the big wire. As for the cause of the death, I'd say this picture captures it quite well.
What? But there's nothing that even remotely resembles a murder weapon here.
Judge, you fucking totally stupid?
I'm afraid the defense is gonna have to explain this in a bit more detail. Miss Vey, where exactly in this photo is the murder weapon?
It's right there.
Well,
naturally, it's right here.
That's... What is that?
A severed electrical cable, I believe, Your Honor. Remember the testimony we've heard. The machines in the pharmacology department students use in their experiments require high voltage. And because of that, there are special high voltage cables strung up everywhere.
So then, the high voltage cable...
Yes, the high voltage cable is the cause of death. That is the most likely explanation.
That certainly sounds plausible. Well, Mr. Payne, what do you have to say about this?
Well, I believe some praise is in order. Don't toy with me, old man. Now, the victim's cause of death may indeed have been a high-voltage cable. However, I want you to think about what that really implies. The only one who had the opportunity to use the cable as a murder weapon was... the defendant!
That much is certainly true.
Yes, then that's not all. We have proof.
Eat my shorts, Major Payne.
Irrefutable proof that will establish that Mr. Wright was the murderer.
You do? Well, what is it?
His fingerprints.
Fingerprints? You mean the defendant's fingerprints were on something besides the medicine bottle?
Let's take another look at the crime scene photo. As you can see, the victim is wearing a leather jacket. And as you may know, leather holds fingerprints quite well. You mean... Yes, it was quite clearly imprinted on the chest area of the victim's jacket. The palm print of the defendant's very own hand.
What?
I can only think of one way Mr. Wright could have left a print like that. Intent on murder, he squarely pushed the victims towards the severed electrical cable.
Order. That's enough. I think we can conclude that there's no reason to continue with this cross-examination. Stick a fork in us, we're done.
Mr. Grossberg.
My hemorrhoids never lie. The show is over, Mia. I knew that boy was guilty the first time I saw him.
No, you're wrong. Mr. Wright is innocent. I know, because I'm the main character.
No further evidence is required to convince me of this man's guilt.
Your Honor.
At this time, I am prepared to render a verdict in this case.
Shut the fuck up, Your Honor, and let me talk.
Do you have something further to add, Miss Faye?
Is this what you want, Mr. Wright? You still haven't told us the truth. The whole truth. If you don't say something now, the judge is going to hand down his verdict. But I can't say it. If I told you what really happened, then I'd be... Shut up, Your Honor, I'm fucking bawling. I'm bawling, Your Honor. Get the hell out of the way. It's okay, Mr. Wright. I'm your attorney. You can trust me. Miss Faye. Oh my god, he got serious. No matter what it is you have to say, I believe in you and I'll represent you to the very end. We've already established the defendant's guilt. There's no further need for him to say anything. Well, wait a minute. Mr. Wright, I'll tell you what really happened. But I've already told you, Mr. Wright, there's no need for further... I did it. I admit it. I pushed him. It's my fault. My fault that Doug Swallow is dead. That girl, you shouldn't see her anymore. Hey, it's none of your business. I'm telling you for your sake. If you continue to see her, it's gonna be bad news. You're lying! Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl. Stop it! Don't talk about her like that. Ooh. Perfect.
What you just said, was that the truth?
Yes, I was afraid. Afraid that if I told the truth, everyone would think I was the murderer for sure. Well, as things currently stand, we're all absolutely convinced you are. Your Honor, I was doing a stage transition heavy attack and he fell into some cables. And then blew up. Please. Please give me one more chance to explain. This time I swear I'll tell the whole truth. It'll be okay, won't it, Miss Faye? I believe in you. Oh, that was weird. What happened to your voice? Thank you? I still can't believe it. He really did push the victim.
Ugh, it feels like my hemorrhoids are doing the Harlem Shake.
Grossberg, that's a weird reference for a man your this age to make. Also, isn't this like 1991?
Your Honor, I was going for super and actually got HP instead. My bad.
I wanted it to be stylish and I fucked it up.
That guy, he was talking bad about Dolly.
Perfect. Okay, I'm not gonna make that joke again.
I lost my temper and gave him a shove. At that moment, I heard some kind of loud noise. A little while after I left, I started getting worried. So I went back, but he was just lying there, dead.
Well, the explanation is really quite simple.
Perfect.
When you pushed him, Mr. Swallow flew back and touched the electrical cable. Okay, guys, can we remember that Phoenix left at 3, and his watch stopped at 3:30. He wasn't electrocuted until after. He died from the shock, and that, as they say, is that.
A simple explanation indeed.
At the time of the incident, a light rain had been falling. Wet from the rain, the victim was more easily electrocuted.
But when I pushed him, there weren't any electrical cables nearby.
Have you ever even played Street Fighter? Yes! I played Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition, and I mained Makoto. She is my favorite. And also I played Street Fighter Cross Tekken. And I mained Juri in that one. And also Elena.
If there had been something like that, even I would have noticed it.
That's true. Even a doofus like... This is a very strange way to spell doofus. Like him couldn't miss that.
Miss Faye, let me warn you right now that if your cross-examination doesn't yield any new facts, I intend to deliver my verdict without further delay. Are we clear on that?
Yes, Your Honor. Don't give up, Mia. Oog X Tekken, are you okay? How's your therapy going? I mean, it was really fine once I turned off all of the back button controls on my Vita. Because the idea of having a touchscreen on the back of a handheld system is fucking deranged. I kept accidentally hitting it when adjusting my hands on the tiny little fucking pads. If he's innocent, there must be some kind of evidence somewhere that will prove it. Oh god, it was the Vita version? You better fucking believe it, baby. Oh, yes. Can you tell me about what happened in a little more detail?
That guy, he just said what he wanted to say to me.
Better than Street Fighter 4 for 3DS. I mean, I guess. And then he put on the jacket he was holding and started to leave. That's when I lost my temper and flew into a furious frenzy. And I fucking Akuma'd him. You played the shittier version of the shittiest game. That's so funny. I just gave him a light, gentle shove to the chest. And then stood there like I did a fucking, like, raging demon on his ass. And when you did that, there was no severed cable anywhere to be seen.
Right. There was nothing like that at all.
But is it possible that you merely overlooked it? What about BlazBlue Chrono Phantasma for 3DS? I did play a BlazBlue or two in my time. I'm a Tao main, as you may have guessed. Though if I could play as Torokaka, I would. In the lag zone right now. Look, I just like characters where I can jump straight up and rider kick people. Is that so much to ask? I also made Misfortune in Skullgirls. It's funny that Akuma is in Tekken lore. They put him in the lore during that crossover for Tekken 6. That's so funny.
Well, I guess that is possible.
What are you doing? Don't let that guy steamroll over you like cheap asphalt. Not Jubei? No, in the games I played, Jubei was not playable. And also, not Jubei, no.
I believe what's most important here is the moment the push occurred. Let's continue on with this testimony.
Actually, can you go back? I fully missed the first one. So what kinds of things did Mr. Swallow say to you? He said all sorts of terrible things about Dolly. He said that she was a bad girl. The save cat girl redeem. Want curry now? A small bowl of curry and rice? I don't really want to eat during stream. I miss Kokonoe Mercury. I did love Kokonoe. She is so pretty.
Is that all?
Yep.
Well, Miss Faye, you heard him yourself.
Oh boy, you're not doing yourself any favors here, Mr. Wright. Eat into the mic for big views. I don't wanna. Please don't make this harder for me than it already is. I love the angry pink cat girl. I mean, how could you not? Anyway, after he said that, I just... Anyone else want Kate's curry? No, that's mine. A loud noise? And what would you say that loud noise was, Mr. Wright? I'm not sure, but it was really loud. It was like, snap! You know, come to think of it, I wonder what that was. Victorian capitalist Rajya moment. Clearly, Your Honor, it was the sound of the victim being electrocuted. I mean, it was probably the umbrella breaking. You're not qualified to decide that. What should I do? I'm treading on some dangerous ground here. Mr. Wright, that loud noise you heard may be extremely important, so try to remember what it was. How do I put it? It was like a sharp crack. Could it have been... Yes? Could it have been? Hurry up and tell us. When I pushed him, he dropped the umbrella he was holding. Honestly, excellent form, Phoenix. You push forward with the opposite leg, straight arm with the push. Very nice. He fell right on top of it, it broke. It was probably the noise I heard.
An umbrella, And did that umbrella belong to the victim?
Yeah, it was a plastic umbrella, cheap and frail, kind of like the odor. Oh my god. Then again, I wish I had any kind of umbrella. I was totally soaked to the bone.
Miss Faye.
It's his ult before he was an MVC. Just one shove, and your character dies.
What do you think? Is there something important in the testimony just now?
Well, of course it's important. This is it, Mia. The new information you've been waiting for. Of course it's important. No, this cheap umbrella is more than important. It's vital. I want to officially have it entered into the testimony. Ha! How perfectly fitting. Flimsy information for a flimsy lawyer.
The court agrees to the defense's request. Witness, please add the bit about the cheap umbrella to your testimony.
So, Mr. Swallow fell on top of his umbrella, and you're certain of this? Yeah, it was right there under him. Actually, if it hadn't been under him, I was planning on borrowing it for myself. Just shove a guy over and steal his umbrella? The umbrella, you mean? Well, yeah, you see I was wearing this sweater here. Can I say the funniest thing just happened in terms of my work? Is this you getting 3 days off, or is this a different thing? Dolly stayed up late for nights at a time knitting it for me. I did want to rain to dampen the handmaid's symbol of her love.
Ooh! My stomach is not to be used as your personal soccer ball, Mia.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Continue on with your testimony, witness.
After you shoved the victim, did you leave the scene right away? Yes, I did. I admit it. I was furious. You left without even checking Mr. Swallow's condition? Well, yeah, but like I said, I got worried about it later. At that time, did you see anyone else at the scene of the crime?
Nope. Nobody.
Jeez, could that stupid cough possibly sound any phonier? Oh, should I be making a fake cough?
In that case, it's very hard to believe someone else could have been the murderer. Unless we can find something that shows his innocence from the testimony, my dear. I'm afraid the judge will make his final decision with no remorse whatsoever.
Yes, sir. Right now I need more info. Info that will help me turn up some contradictions. They cut me off the schedule for tomorrow night, so I'm off till Monday. However, the HR lady sent out a mass test to ask people if they could work tonight. What the fuck? Yeah, T Corp Raja. Time capitalism. Furious Frenzy, shoving, fell on the cheap umbrella. No severed cable. Fell on top of the umbrella. He was gonna take it. Grossberg gets punched in the stomach. Mia hates the elderly. Just full on punching the fuck out of him. For no reason. Well, I also hate Grossberg. I mean, that's fair. Gave him the shove. Fell down on top of the umbrella. He got worried. Left the scene right away. Contradictions. 4/9 at 3 p.m. I'm eating so much sharp. Well, lord it over me, why don't you? Covered in white Wright's fingerprints. I mean, I guess I could... He doesn't look like... He's not on top of anything. Yeah, oh, yeah, he's not on top of his umbrella at all. Okay. Why didn't you testify about the umbrella from the very beginning? Come on, if I had mentioned that, I would have been able to counter the prosecution's arguments earlier. Well, what do you mean by that? Take another look at the crime scene photo. According to Mr. Wright, the victim fell on top of his umbrella. However, you look closely, he's been moved. The umbrella is nowhere near the victim. Actually, it's by the electrical pole. And he's upside down, and he's face down, which he wasn't in the testimony. You're absolutely right. The conclusion here is obvious. After the defendant left, the victim moved from where he fell. In other words, after he was pushed by the defendant, Mr. Swallow was still alive. No! Order, order, order. The victim, he moved? Mr. Payne, the umbrella in this photo, where is it now? Well, it was collected by the police at the crime scene. I want it presented as evidence immediately. Oh my god, it's so shitty and broken. But the umbrella could have simply been blown there by the wind, not if it was under him, dumbass. According to the testimony, the victim fell on top of the umbrella. Her smirk is so funny. There's simply no way it could have been blown there by the wind. But... I know this matter of the umbrella seems relatively trivial, but... as long as the smallest doubt remains, I cannot render final judgment. No! I must say, I still find it hard to believe that a huge hole has been blown in the prosecution's case by the defendant's testimony. Well done, Mia. Oh my god, Eepy Teepy is not Eepy whatsoever. How strange. Mr. Payne, what are you chuckling about? Pardon me, Your Honor. It seems I was expecting too much of a free ride. I was foolish to think I could establish guilt through cross-examination alone. I'm afraid I don't follow what you're saying. Let me guess. You have another witness. Exactly. And this witness's testimony will be incontrovertible. Well, who is this witness? Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Dahlia Hawthorne? You don't mean Dolly? I do, Your Honor. The defendant's very own lover is a witness to the whole thing. That's right. She was at the scene of the crime when the murder took place. What? I'm sorry to break the bad news to you, my dear. My throat hurts. I hate pain so much. Bad news? You couldn't be more wrong. Actually, I've been waiting for this. You can't be serious! Mia, what do you mean by that? I think this is a good point for us to stop at. Court will now enter a 20-minute recess. Afterwards, we will listen to the testimony of Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. She said his line. April 11th, 11:52 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Miss Faye, I'm sorry about what happened back there. It's alright. At least you told us the truth in the end, Mr. Wright. Yeah, so I guess I could start to relax then, huh? Relax, my boy! You can't be serious! After hiding such important facts! But the next witness is my Dolly, right? She'll save me. I just know she will. Why do you think that? Huh? What do you mean? She's the love of my life, that's why! The love of your life, huh? Would you mind telling me more about you and Miss Dahlia Hawthorne? Sure, no problem. Dolly and I, we first met about 8 months ago, right here in this very courthouse. Actually, I'm studying to be a lawyer on the side. Anyway, on one day, she and I just bumped into each other in the reading room downstairs. That's why I really think it was fate that brought us together. As soon as I first set eyes on her, I knew she was the one for me. Oh, here, take a look at this. She gave this to me the day we met as a symbol of our love. She had been wearing it around her neck that day, but then she took it off. But before she gave it to me, she said, I want you to carry this. So she gave it to you as a present, I see. This darling little bottle is filled with memories of my darling little Dolly. It certainly is a little bottle, all right. It makes me so happy I could show it to everyone I meet. I want to share my happiness with the whole world. A small bottle necklace given to Wright the day they met. He shows it to everyone. Anyway. So after that, you and Miss Hawthorne started dating? Yeah, but she's so shy. Every time I see her, she always says the same thing to me. Please give it back now. What a strange girl asking for a present back like that. By the way, Mr. Wright, the day you first met Dahlia Hawthorne 8 months ago, it wouldn't happen to have been August 27th, would it? Huh? Yeah, it was, but how did you... This happened on August 27th, right here in this courthouse. What's this, a newspaper clipping? Let's see... Murder in the courthouse. Murder?
What are you reading there? Let me see that. Oh, I see. Mia, I think I understand what you're trying to say. And I think I understand why you suddenly took such a keen interest in this case. You believe there is some connection between these two cases. Am I correct?
I hope you don't mind, Mr. Grossberg. I want to read this. Very little information is being disclosed at this time, since the victim of yesterday's incident in the district courthouse cafeteria is said to have been a lawyer. However, police are questioning the 19-year-old female college student who was sitting with the victim. I need to finish this myself.
Yes, but I'm afraid what you have will not be enough, my dear. I'll go and have a look at the downstairs reading room and see what else I can find.
Thank you.
I want to do whatever I can to be of help to you, Mia. Well, it looks like recess is about over. We better all get moving.
I guess so. That recess sure seemed longer than 20 minutes, though. To be continued. April 11th, 12:13 p.m. District Court, Courtroom Number 2. Eating corn. In the corn room.
Court will now reconvene. Mr. Payne, please call your witness.
The next person is someone who witnessed the crime as it happened. The prosecution calls Miss Dahlia Hawthorne to the stand. What's with this stiff silence?
In my long career as a judge, I have been deceived by many witnesses. It's my job to doubt, to take no one at their word. But in your case, I must admit you radiate a glow of complete sincerity.
I can't believe he actually said that. Oh, now then, witness, could you please state your full name?
Don't worry, sweetie. There's no need to be nervous.
If anyone says anything rude, you should be sure I'll cut them right down to size.
And I will bash them with my gavel.
I love how they look straight at me when they say that. Thank you for calming my nerves. You're all so nice. I almost feel right at home.
Not at all. It was nothing.
If we may move on now, what is your full name and occupation? My name is Dahlia Hawthorne. I'm a junior in literature at Ivy University. I just want to say, it's an honor for me to be here in your noble presence.
The honor's all mine! No, the honor's all mine!
Well, we know whose milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. Damn right, it's better than yours. Sir? Is there something I can help you with?
You just go on and say whatever's on your mind.
I'm sure that there must be some kind of mistake. Phright wouldn't kill anyone. I just know it.
Yes, I can see why you'd say that.
She's gonna be a tough witness, all right. If it only took her 12 seconds to wrap them all around her little finger.
Now then, please proceed with your testimony. Let's hear about what you witnessed on the day of the incident, if you please.
What I witnessed. I had been planning to go back to Phreight's place after class was over. Phright and Dougie, they were talking out behind the building. Then suddenly, Dougie got all wobbly and just collapsed. That's when Phright noticed that I was there. I went to go find some other students, and they called the authorities.
I don't know what to say. According to you, Miss Hawthorne, the defendant didn't do anything wrong.
Young lady, as old as I am, even I recall how hot the flames of young passion can burn. Nevertheless, it is my job to discover the truth. Please tell us the truth.
But I would never.
That's more than enough, witness. I won't allow this to continue.
What do you mean by that?
Please, just let me proceed with my cross-examination, Your Honor. I, for one, don't plan to win my case on a bunch of paper-thin lies.
You haven't changed a bit. Mia Fey.
What's this? Say, so you two are acquainted? Are you bitches gay?
Yes, we've met before. Once.
No pain, no pain. It's just me. I am just gay. It's just me, Mia. She is not gay. She is probably the devil.
In any case, Miss Fey, the floor is all yours. It's good to see you again, Madam Fey.
Madam? I'm no one's grandma yet, girly. Listen to the theme. She's like pure evil.
I had been planning.
Oh yeah, I just need to fucking. I'm not rereading this over and over again. Now, unless I'm mistaken, Mr. Wright is in the art department. If that's the case, then what were you doing by the pharmacology building?
Well, I'm in the literature department. I'm studying Japanese senryu poetry.
Oh, how wonderful! Isn't that humorous yet satirical style of haiku? Yes.
Hi, Ellie. Hi, Ellie. Hello. Nothing left to do. When a man reaches this age, sleep is his best friend.
That's supposed to be poetry? Sounds more like a midlife crisis.
For me to get to the art department, I have to walk through that back area.
Ellie! I'm talking to you. Ellie, I'm talking to you. Hello, Ellie. I'm directly contacting you through your brain. I'm using my cat beams on you. React now. Attack Teeps.
Oh, I see. That makes sense. When I want to enter the courthouse, I always walk through the front doors.
How else would you enter? Teleportation? So, who is this Dougie person?
Oh, I'm sorry. Doug Swallow. We were dating until about 8 months ago.
She yawned and rolled over and showed her belly. That's close enough. That also works. So what were Dougie, Mr. Swallow and Mr. Wright talking about anyway?
How can you be so mean? I would never eavesdrop. I wasn't raised to be so rude and unrefined.
That's right, Miss Fey!
Don't drag the witness down to your level.
Why am I being demonized here?
Please, go on. What did you see next?
Are you saying that the victim just collapsed on his own?
Yes.
In other words, the defendant never touched the victim. Is that right?
I was watching the whole time. Feeny never did a thing to Dougie.
If I press her for no good reason, I'll just know the judge will get angry with me. So what should I do about her testimony just now? I mean, I have Phoenix's... Yeah, we fell on top of his umbrella. Loud sound. Feeble lies are not very becoming, Miss Hawthorne, so let's drop them, shall we?
What? I would never...
Miss Fey, I will not allow you to badger the witness. I believe the defense is engaged in a fishing expedition. That is, she has no supporting... Please don't glare at me like that. I'm just doing my job. Now then, Miss Hawthorne. The defendant's palm print was found on Mr. Swallow's leather jacket. It has already been shown that Mr. Wright did, in fact, push the victim.
What?
There's no need to try to cover for the defendant. It would be much better if you came out and told us the whole truth.
There's nothing to worry about, young lady. Just tell us everything you saw.
Yes, Your Honor. I will. If you don't mind, I'd like to revise my testimony.
Looks like we're finally getting somewhere.
Actually, I didn't see the moment he pushed Dougie.
You didn't see it?
Well, I saw the moment when Dougie fell to the ground.
And at that time, there was only the two of them at the scene? The defendant, Phright, and the victim, Doug Swallow?
Yes, that's right.
So then, what did it look like they were doing to you? Doing to you.
I thought they were having a nice, friendly afternoon conversation.
Oh, give me a break.
That's why I really wasn't watching them all that closely.
Did you notice anything out of the ordinary at all?
No, nothing at all, Mr. Judge.
Oh, I'd like the sound of that, Mr. Judge. Now then, please proceed with your testimony.
It's a loud sound, idiot. You say you didn't hear anything unusual. Is that correct?
Yes, that's why I was very relaxed, looking at the scenery around me.
That's nice, but I find that just a little odd. I have here the testimony of your boyfriend, Mr. Phright, and he clearly testified to the effect that when he pushed the victim, he heard a sharp, loud noise.
He said that?
If you were really that close to the two of them, then why didn't you hear this noise as well? Well, maybe the noise just wasn't all that memorable. But according to Mr. Wright's testimony, it was a sharp noise like a snap. There's no way a noise like that could fail to make an impression. Ah!
May I have a moment to answer?
By all means.
I know the reason why I didn't hear the noise. You see, the truth is, I had my headphones on, and I was listening to music at the time.
Headphones? You mean that both of your ears were covered?
The rain was just beginning to let up, but it seemed as though the Thor wasn't ready for his fun to come to an end yet. So the sky continued to flash and rumble.
Thunder and lightning, huh?
Yes, I'm afraid of the sound of thunder, so I put my headphones on to black it out.
Well, Your Honor, as you can see, there weren't any contradictions in her testimony after all. Wait a sec, Mia. That testimony just now, she said something that could totally change this whole case. There was lightning. Your Honor, there is a problem with the witness's testimony.
Ooh, what do you mean?
Didn't you notice? She said there was lightning. Oh, thank you for the follow, Linda Lucas 2. The second one. Linda and Lucas, but two of them. How are you doing tonight in this fine courtroom? She said there was lightning, correct?
Yes, what about it?
Well, lightning is actually a large discharge of electricity in the atmosphere. Am I right?
Now's not the time for a science lesson, Miss Fay.
Yes, Your Honor. Anyway, since the cause of death was electrocution, isn't it possible that the victim died from being hit by a bolt of lightning?
I must admit that the thought had not occurred to me.
Just what kind of thoughts do occur to this guy anyway? This entire case is built on the premise that Mr. Doug Swallow was murdered. When there's lightning, it always brings you down. Lightning's pretty cool. I like lightning. But that very premise itself is mistaken. The defense believes that Mr. Swallow was, in fact, the victim of a stray bolt. Of course, that would have easily hit Phoenix as well. Given that they were like 3 feet apart.
It appears the defense may be onto something. Could it be that the death was actually accidental?
Alright, you did it, Mia. I'll be taking that not guilty now if you... Hee. I'm hurt that you have such a low opinion of me, Miss Faye. She does not care for Dio. I just probably haven't heard that song. I'm not a fool, you know. The prosecution has done its research, Your Honor. It could have been after Feeny left, I guess. We found that there were no lightning strikes on that day at that location. What? What's more, we have evidence that the electrical cable is definitely linked to this case.
Evidence, Mr. Payne? Well, what is this evidence?
This affidavit.
And who is this affidavit from?
The pharmacology students who were conducting experiments in their labs that day. Allow me to read out the testimony of the pharmacology students. All equipment in the labs lost power all of a sudden at around 3 p.m. that day.
Was it a blackout?
All of the lab's equipment runs on high voltage, Your Honor.
So you're saying the equipment lost power because...
Precisely! They lost power because of the severed electrical cable. The power outage occurred at approximately 3 p.m.
Which fits well with the time of death listed in the autopsy report.
Exactly! In other words, the victim died as a result of touching the severed electrical cable. According to the students, the cables were very old. They were planning on having them replaced in the near future.
I see.
Apparently, the cables had become so brittle that even the smallest bump would have caused them to break.
They should have been replaced years ago then.
However, there is one thing that troubles me. If the cable could have been broken by any small bump, then it wouldn't have snapped if it had been bumped into, correct?
Well, I suppose you could say that.
Miss Faye, do you have any thoughts regarding the cause of the severed cable?
Your Honor, did you fuck it all up yet? Oh, yeah. I don't like how this is looking one bit. I have to come up with something to try to regain some momentum. If it pleases the court, the defense would like to state its opinion.
Well then, let's hear it. Who or what was it that caused the cable to break?
I think Phoenix might have pushed him into a... It was Electro from Spider-Man passing through the line. That's true. I don't think that would do anything, but, like, it might have been that. Some sort of impact at 2:55. It was an impact at 2:55, so it can't have been Phoenix shoving him. Unless Phoenix then stood there for, like, fucking 5 minutes. He stood there mocking him in a bad British accent for 5 minutes. I'm gonna say Phoenix. I think it was Phoenix pushing him. Yeah, because it was broken near an electrical pole, so he probably pushed him into the pole. If I had to guess. Your Honor, please think back to Mr. Wright's testimony.
The defendant's testimony?
He said that after he pushed the victim, he heard a loud, sharp noise. Now, this happened at around 3 p.m., correct?
Yes, that sounds right. Wait, are you saying that
The lab equipment lost power at 2:55 p.m., which fits right in Mr. Wright's timeline. In other words, it was Mr. Wright's shove that caused the power outage. He said he did it. He killed him, and he'd do it again. He would do it 9 more times. He'd do it 10 more times, just to be sure. Yes, the prosecution also came to that same conclusion. And it was that very shove that caused Mr. Swallow to be electrocuted. Except it didn't break near where he was shoved. I'm afraid I can't agree with you there, Mr. Payne. What's that supposed to mean? Take a good look at where the victim landed after being shoved. See the umbrella? It's by the electrical pole. That's right. The victim banged into that pole as a result of being pushed. It was that impact that caused the cable to break.
Well, that makes sense. And then the victim was electrocuted.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, but no, it doesn't make sense at all. If the victim was shoved into the far pole, then he couldn't have been electrocuted by the severed cable in the foreground here. Ah! In other words, someone other than my client must have electrocuted the victim. Hydrate? I can hydrate. I have a delicious little beverage right here.
Order! Order in the court!
Ah, the lamentations of my enemy. How I've longed to hear them.
It's true. The defense is absolutely correct. There doesn't seem to be any way the defendant could have...
Mr. Judge, sir? May I say something? The Madam Attorney's explanation. She said some things that are a little different than I remember them.
What?
What the? Please, just once more. May I please testify one last time? Please, Mr. Judge?
Of course it's all right. I'll just go right ahead and give your new testimony.
This is it. She's finally starting to show her true colors. What I witnessed part 2. The truth is, Phright pushed him twice. The first time was into the electrical pole. That's when the cable broke. Then Dougie tried his best to run away from him. But Phright caught up and crashed into him from behind. Why don't you have a Kate thinking emote? Because I don't think. Thinking is for squares. And also I did not think to make one. But I think that would be pretty good, to be honest. That's a good idea. The cable snapping and Dougie being electrocuted. It all occurred in less than a minute.
So after being shoved, the victim got up and tried to run away.
And that is when the defendant pushed him for the second time. I'm so sorry, Phright, but I just have to tell the truth. Am I doing the right thing? Am I, Mr. Judge?
Of course you are, my dear. As painful as it may seem, you are. Now then, Miss Fay, you may proceed with your cross-examination.
Miss Hawthorne, previously in your testimony you said the following. Actually, I didn't see the moment he pushed Dougie. I know. I'm sorry. I wanted to protect Phright. So that's why you basically lied to the court? I was a bad girl. I know. Mr. Judge?
Yes?
Would you please forgive little old me? Of course he won't. What you did is called perjury.
Oh, come now. What? It was just a little old white lie. Well, we'll forget it this time. But please be more careful from now on, all right?
Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Judge.
Not at all. Ho ho ho.
The judge had better be more careful himself. A dark alley is friendlier than that girl. You're saying you actually saw the victim get pushed into the electrical pole. I know he doesn't look it, but Phright can be a bit of an imp when he wants to be. Oh, really? But I never imagined that he would cause an electrical cable to break. Phright really is scary when he gets mad.
Yes, he sounds like a very dangerous individual indeed.
So let me get this straight. You were happily listening to music on your headphones while you watched this scene unfold? Miss Faye, I'll have to ask you to stop badgering the witness. I wasn't happy. I was so scared I couldn't even move.
Phoenix just in the defendant chair like, yo, what the fuck? Like, huh? What the hell?
All I could do was stand there and cheer them on. Cheer them on? What do you mean by that? Well, I wished the best for them both, and that they would each give the fight their all.
That's very sweet of you to be so supportive.
And what happened after that?
That doesn't sound quite right. There were handprints found on the chest of the victim's leather jacket. Mr. Payne, were there also prints found on the back of his leather jacket?
Well, no, there weren't.
Madam Faye, may I suggest that you listen a little more carefully? I said that he crashed into him from behind, right? My Phright wouldn't leave any prints behind in that case, would he? Did you actually witness the moment the victim was electrocuted? I'm sorry, I didn't actually see it. I turned my eyes away.
Mechanical Rhythm Monday, Friday. Your Honor, take her out back and shoot her. That's understandable.
Yes, indeed. It would have been a horrific sight for anyone to behold.
If I don't figure out the contradiction here, it's all over. She didn't have much time to come up with her lies, so this is my best chance. There must be a hole in her testimony somewhere. Think, Mia.
Attorney badge on your titty. Did you not notice before?
Power cable broke some sort of impact. Fell on top of his umbrella.
I'm sorry, I have manners and don't just ogle a lady's boobies. I mean, they're there.
Run away from him, caught up and crashed into him from behind. Cable snap would just be less than a minute. I mean, that can't be, because this happened at it broke at 2:55, and he died at 3 p.m.
I was looking at Mia, to be fair. It didn't happen in less than a minute. He died fucking 5 minutes afterwards. Whatever.
Saw him get pushed in the pole. Imp. Scary when he gets mad. Just the headphones. Cheer them on. The chest crashed into him. Wouldn't have left prints.
Phoenix hit him with a vibrating palm. He's actually a level 12 monk. I mean, that would make sense.
I'm still not... It didn't happen in less than a minute. I keep saying this. Okay, there we go. It was the picture. My favorite thing to do in BG3, just hit someone and turn them into a bomb. That's enough, witness. I'm afraid I don't understand. You will in a minute. Could you please take a look at this picture? Oh, that medicine. That's the one Phright likes to take for his cold. It's not the medicine I want you to look at. It's the wristwatch. It stopped at the precise time the victim was electrocuted. In other words, 3:05 p.m.
Yes, and your point is, Miss Faye?
My point is this. What time was it when the lab suffered that power outage due to the cable snapping? Well, according to the student's testimony, the answer is clear. It was 2:55 p.m. Ah! Would you care to explain to the court, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne, what exactly happened during this 10-minute interval? The defense proposes that it was during this interval the real murderer killed Mr. Doug Swallow.
Order! Order in the court! What?
This is nonsense! The real murderer! Even you can't deny that the time between the cable breaking and the electrocution are completely unaccounted for. Then who was it? Who else are you saying could have done it? The only other person on the scene, dipshit. There's only one person who could have murdered Mr. Swallow. Only after my client had left the scene was there a window of opportunity for the real killer.
Miss Faye, is the defense ready to indict someone as this real killer?
It was Grossberg. It's finally time. This is the moment I've been waiting for. It was I'm Aquila. It was murder. Yes, Your Honor. We are ready.
Very well, but remember, if you accuse the wrong person, you will be penalized. Think very carefully before you speak, Miss Faye. Now then, Miss Faye, let's have it. Who is the real killer?
It was Cold Killer X, actually. It was right in front of us all along. The only other person at the scene, dumbass. It could only have been you, Dahlia Hawthorne. What? How can you? The defense is grasping at straws. 10 minutes passed between the time the cable broke and the time of the electrocution. What exactly were you doing that whole time, Miss Hawthorne? Were you really listening to some music while cheering them both on as they fought? I find it hard to believe that you didn't lift a finger to stop the men dearest to you.
Order! Order, Miss Faye! What? I mean, why? That is to say...
Miss Hawthorne, I believe you did witness the two men fighting on that day, however, just fully ignoring the judge. After Mr. Wright pushed the victim and subsequently left the scene, it was you who pushed Mr. Swallow to his death with your very own hands. Ah! How can you say something so mean, Madam Faye? I didn't do anything.
Miss Faye, this is a very serious charge.
Your Honor, please, I have something I want to say.
You, what is it?
Where the hell do these butterflies come from in winter? Well, it's spring, actually. That's how Phoenix caught a cold. Because he opened his windows just as it was turning to spring. Please strike everything the defense said just now from the record. What the? Are you daft? You're totally wrong, Miss Faye. Dolly, she couldn't do something like that.
Mr. Wright, get back in your seat. Bailiff, grab that man.
Ow! Leave my Dolly alone.
That boy.
He's gotten himself in way over his head.
Oh, Mr. Grossberg, you're back.
It seems I've arrived just in the nick of time. I found the police reported that incident in your newspaper clipping.
Excellent. District Courthouse Cafeteria. Diego Armando, 28, lawyer. Ingested poison while interviewing the suspect regarding another case. Traces were found in the coffee cup. No poison found in vicinity or suspect's person. Unclear how the poison entered the victim's coffee cup. Dumbasses.
You'd better take a good look at it. It, details how you came to lose your boyfriend.
Grossberg, why did you sound like an evil girl for a second?
Well, you see, my name was in question marks, so the streamer had no fucking idea who was talking. Now then, the defense has made a very serious accusation. Mr. Payne, what do you have to say about this?
Well, really, Your Honor, May I interrupt you for just a moment, Mr. Prosecutor? Don't you worry, my dear. I have this situation well in hand. Go right ahead. Madam Faye, are you seriously accusing me of killing my sweet Dougie? Yes, I am. Not only am I saying you murdered Doug Swallow, but you also tried to pin the whole thing on your current lover, Phoenix Wright. I told you should let me handle this. Sorry, please go ahead. This is why Phoenix is gay now. How can you say that? I'm absolutely devoted to my dear Feeny. The notion that I would try to frame him is ludicrous. This is all just too much for my poor little me to bear.
I believe the girl is trying to ask what on earth her motive would be.
The answer to that is simple. It lies somewhere in this police report. It must. 8 months ago, an incident occurred in the basement cafeteria of this building. And then, the same day, the two of them accidentally meet. Your Honor, the defense requests further testimony from Miss Dahlia Hawthorne.
Further testimony? What about?
About the events of the day when she first met the defendant, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What could that possibly have to do with this case? I am establishing motive, fuckhead. Shut the hell up. Well, I have evidence that suggests that she, in fact, had a very good reason.
Very well, then. The court grants the defense's request. Young lady, would you mind staying on for just a bit longer?
Of course not, Mr. Judge. Get ready for the battle of your life, Dahlia Hawthorne. I first met my darling Feeny 8 months ago. It's like we were destined to meet in this very courthouse's basement reading room. What if she just said no and they were like, well, okay, you can go then? I mean, if she said no, the judge definitely would have tried to let her go. The moment our eyes met, my heart skipped a beat. We've been going out ever since that fateful day. We're so lovey-wovey, we literally make people sick. It's just jealousy, I think. I'm imagining, like, people playing the first two games and being like, Phoenix and Mia are both super gay. And then they fucking they just throw this in and they're just like, no, Phoenix had a girlfriend and Mia had a boyfriend, so they're not gay. It's like they don't even know. They have no fucking idea.
Mr. Wright, do that again and you'll be held in contempt of court.
And now we enter the final act of our little drama.
As we used to say in the days of my youth, go get her.
So until that time, you had been dating Doug Swallow? And those events turned them gay, obviously. It makes perfect sense. There's no way she would She just lesed out with Lana in college as an experiment. She dated a guy, she was like, surely I'm straight. And then he died, and she was like, nope. Nah, gay. For sure. 100%. So until that time, you had been dating Doug Swallow? Yes, I'm a real fool, I know. Letting my emotions change so quickly. I'm ashamed of myself.
No, not at all. Look at me, I'm infamous for changing my mind. My critics have even taken to calling me Judge Fickle. Ho ho ho!
Maybe you should look for a different line of work.
Despite that, however, he always hands down the correct verdict. That's why some people also call him the Great Judgini.
The courthouse reading room? That's a strange place to meet the love of your life.
That's not true, Madame Faye. After all, Phright was not only an art student, but he was also planning on becoming a lawyer.
Lana wouldn't have died of poison. She would have just tanked it easy. Lana would have drank it and then spat it back in her face. She would be like, this is poison. Bitch. I can taste it. I learned what poison tastes like to prosecute a case earlier this month.
I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about you, Miss Hawthorne.
What was a literature student like you doing in a courthouse reading room? This line of questioning is a waste of time. It has nothing to do with our murder case.
Miss Faye, I'm warning you. If this has nothing to do with Mr. Swallow's case...
Make my dinner cooked? Beams it. I have to remember the judge is on Dahlia's side. I better tread carefully. No, we're keeping pressing. Your Honor, if you'll allow me some latitude, I think I can establish relevance. No! Cook dinner beam! Please ask her to continue on with her testimony.
Very well. Young lady, I've got a simple question for you. What were you doing downstairs in the courthouse reading room?
If it pleases Your Honor, the answer is simply this.
You were writing a paper? On what?
On the relationship between modern Senryu poetry and the criminal underworld.
Ho ho ho, that sounds like a fascinating research idea.
Am I getting old? Now I've even forgotten what I've forgotten.
Again with the midlife crisis stuff?
Mia, why did that girl really come to this courthouse? Isn't that what you wanted to know? And speaking of forgetting things, you haven't forgotten the police report, have you? I went through a lot of trouble to get it, my dear, so be sure to read it carefully.
I know! Carrots, you. Anyway, police report beam. It says you were here to be interviewed by this lawyer. Fucking stupid head. Miss Hawthorne, you weren't here because of your research paper, were you? Didn't you actually come here for a much more important reason? What is the meaning of that cocky smile on your face, Miss Faye? 8 months ago, right here in this very courthouse, there was another tragedy. Another tragedy?
Do you mean the incident in which an attorney was poisoned?
The name of the suspect in that incident is listed here in this report. And that name is Dahlia Hawthorne. What?
Dahlia Hawthorne?
Yes, the sweetie pie of everyone's eye, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. She was the prime suspect in a criminal case just 8 months ago.
Order, order, order! This is unbelievable! It's true then! The loveliest rose can hide the deadliest thorn!
Miss Faye, that's not fair! You can't slander my witness with an unrelated case! Winston Payne will not allow it!
Mr. Prosecutor, I believe I was speaking.
Pardon me. Go right ahead.
It's true that about 8 months ago, the police expressed some interest in me.
Expressed some interest, huh?
Mr. Judge, sir, I know I'm under oath, so I'll tell you the absolute truth. I did not commit the crime that occurred during that incident 8 months ago.
I see.
Okay, I've tied the two crimes together. Now I've just got to stay on the offensive.
Well done, Mia. Oh, you've really lit a fire in my heart. And my buttocks. Haha. But
Winston Payne is voiced by the monarch of Venture Brothers fame. Real. You fucked it. Sniper monkey? What are you guys talking about? Die, monster.
I can hardly tell which is more inflamed. My spirit or my hemorrhoids. My ass. Haha. Ba-boom.
Stop. Please stop. Please. I met the lawyer who was poisoned to discuss something in the cafeteria that day. I left my seat for just a moment, and that's when it happened. From what I heard, it was a liquid poison that is lethal in just 2 teaspoons. Not only that, I heard it was a very special kind of poison. So you see, I'm innocent. I wouldn't even know where to get a poison like that. The special poison. The one that was really, really hard to acquire and utilize. Even though it required a pretty significant amount of poison to use, you know. It makes it very difficult to use it, like, discreetly. Which is why the poisoner probably kept it in a cool necklace or something. You know what I mean.
So that's what happened here 8 months ago.
However, as you've heard from the witness's testimony, she had nothing to do with it. I think the defense is just about out of tricks. I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Payne. But I'm afraid the defense has many more tricks up its sleeve today. And I'll be sure to show them to you before the end of this cross-examination. Oh! What is the defense suddenly feel stronger? Her aura! It's blasting me backwards!
Ah, Mia, you're glowing with a true lawyer's aura, my dear. The proud posture and self-confidence, absolutely smashing.
The poisoning. What were you talking about with the defense attorney? Well, I'm sorry, but that's confidential.
According to the report, you were being interviewed regarding another case.
The lawyer that was killed. He said he wanted to talk about an incident I was caught up in when I was younger. Why don't you tell us all what that incident was? That has absolutely nothing at all to do with this case.
Objection sustained. The defense's question is stricken from the record.
You get involved in a lot of incidents, don't you, Miss Hawthorne? Well, I guess I was just born under a bad sign. Don't worry, Dolly. I'll protect you.
You heard the man. Now that is true love, young lady.
Oh, Phee, please. Ugh, those two really are making me ill. Albeit for decidedly different reasons. She's a Gemini, clearly. It's so funny how everybody who talks about astrology fucking hates Geminis. How long were you gone? I've already answered all those questions for the police. But if you must know, maybe 10 or 20 minutes. And where were you during that stretch of time? Using the toilet? What are you saying, Miss Faye? Toilet? My perfect little dolly doesn't poop!
You heard the defendant, Miss Faye. Better luck next time.
Oh, Phee, please. The police have already looked into this whole matter. This line of questioning is nothing but a waste of the court's time.
Objection sustained. Miss Hawthorne, please continue with your testimony.
Or Scorpio, cause ham steak. I mean, I think her whole getup definitely reads Virgo to me. Especially her her specificity about details. And about how much liquid is 2 teaspoons.
Well, let me see. My bottle of eye drops says it's 1/2 fluid ounce, which is equal to 3 teaspoons.
So it's about 2/3 of that amount, huh? The poison was found in the lawyer's mug of coffee. It must have been after I left the table. You see, I would never put poison in coffee. It would be too obvious. Unless that's what I wanted you to think. Someone must have quietly slipped it in there. Coffee is sacred, you see. I mean, if somebody put poison in the coffee in this cafe, I would have to kill them myself. It's an honor thing. A special kind of poison, how so? Well, I heard that it's almost impossible to detect.
Oh, and where would something like that come from?
I'm sorry. All I know is what I overheard the policeman saying. They said something about using advanced chemical processes to purify it.
Chemical processes? Well, that's quite impressive. Most impressive.
Putting rattlesnake venom into my coffee? I mean, as long as it's your coffee, that's fine. Just don't try to poison anybody else. The better question is, how did the criminal get something like that? And that's the reason they didn't arrest you? Because no one could show how you could have gotten the poison? I think that's a good enough reason, Madam Faye. She's right! And I think we've all had enough of Miss Faye's questions.
So in essence, the main reason Miss Hawthorne was never arrested for this crime was because no one could show how she could have obtained the poison.
Then all we have to do is find a way to establish how she could have gotten some, right? Great, now just how did a literature student get a hold of poison of all things? Probably, the alchemist, if I had to guess. Doom-beam. Left my seat for a moment. Are you talking about incident? See, I'm just saying it would be, like, you know, relevant to the case if it had anything to do with the poisoning. How long were you gone? So either it's a toilet. Please. Suspect Alia Hawthorne. Regarding another case, no poison found in the vicinity or on the suspect's person. Unclear how it entered. Special kind of poison. Chemical processes. Oh yeah, what about fucking this guy? I bet this guy could tell you. You wouldn't know how to get that kind of poison. I don't believe you. What? In fact, you had easy access to that kind of poison, didn't you? At your boyfriend's lab.
Boyfriend? You mean the victim, Doug Swallow?
That's right. Up until about 8 months ago, Miss Hawthorne was dating Mr. Swallow. And if you'll recall, Mr. Swallow was a pharmacology student at Ivy University. Pharmacology? His laboratory contained highly advanced chemistry equipment. In fact, without such equipment, the culprit could never have attained such a rare and special poison. I almost said potion. Well, Miss Hawthorne, it seems you had access to such a poison after all. And then it was a matter of slipping it into the victim's coffee when he wasn't looking. The only person who could have done that was the only one sitting at his very table. You! No! Blasting her back with my lawyer force. The force of 1,000 winds.
Order! 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 Could it be?
That's nothing but a bold accusation. May I say something, Madam Faye? What is it, Miss Hawthorne? The amount of poison in the coffee was 2 teaspoons, correct? I mean, you said it was 2 teaspoons. We have no fucking other evidence backing that up. In order to carry around that much liquid, you would need some kind of container.
Well, yes, that's true.
I was searched immediately after the incident took place.
Quite true. In fact, the entire courthouse was turned upside down.
But they didn't find a suspicious container anywhere, did they?
She's right. They didn't even mention that in the report. Except this is the thing I've known for sure the second Nick showed me that fucking necklace and mentioned that it was a bottle multiple times. Well, you could have easily gotten rid of something that small.
Excuse me, madam, but this is a court of law. If you're saying I threw the poison container away, I think you need to show some kind of proof.
Proof? She got me good with that.
Provide some evidence or I'll have to disallow this line of questioning, Miss Faye. Unless we could come up with some evidence, we're gonna lose this lead.
Police conducted a full body search of Dahlia and of the entire courthouse. And yet the container holding the poison disappeared right after the crime occurred.
If you're going to accuse the young lady of committing the murder, then where is the container of poison that was carried in? What happened to it?
It's right here, dumbass. You were forced to get rid of the container in a hurry, weren't you? And that's why you passed it on to someone that had nothing to do with the case. Someone that you knew wouldn't be searched.
Who is this person?
Mr. Phoenix Wright, of course. So the defendant was this witness's accomplice? Of course not. He's just a moron. She gave him the poison to him disguised as a present.
What? But that's...
That's a charming little necklace. Is this a little bottle? It really is quite cute. So what about it? What does it mean, Miss Faye?
The day the witness met and fell for Mr. Phoenix Wright was 8 months ago, August 27th, the very same day as the poisoning incident. Under the pretense of love, the witness gave my client a present. All for the purpose of hiding the one piece of evidence that would give her away.
What? Are you saying there's a deadly poison in here?
No, there's no longer any poison in that bottle. However, I'm certain if the crime lab were to analyze it, they would find a trace amount. Are the fluorescent lightfish egos good? I really like the boss fight and design. If you have a charge team or a poise team, they are extremely good, especially Ishmael's. But Ryoshu's is actually also very good because she not only gives herself poise stacks, but she also gives herself charge count stacks.
No! Ah! Help! Oh, help!
I mean, I have a poise team because I have lots of them. Yeah.
Order in the court.
On behalf of Dolly, I object. Mr. Wright, control yourself. I won't let you bully her like this.
Mr. Wright, I thought I told you to stay in your seat.
Mr. Wright, why? Why are you going through so much trouble to protect her? Why? Because I'm madly in love with her.
Madly in love. I haven't heard anyone say that in a long time.
Mr. Wright, have you ever thought about this? Why exactly would a woman like Dahlia Hawthorne want to date you anyway? Well, I guess she just used to be madly in love with me too. Mr. Wright, please open your eyes. At this point in the trial, I think it should be obvious to everyone. The real reason that Dahlia Hawthorne is dating you is because of that necklace. Dahlia Hawthorne was not, and is not, madly in love with you. The only thing she's after is that bottle necklace you love to wear around your neck. By necklace? Back there in the waiting room, you said it yourself. Yeah, but she's so shy. Every time I see her, she always says the same thing to me. Please give it back now.
What a strange girl asking for a present back like that.
For Dahlia Hawthorne, that necklace is irrefutable evidence of her crime. That's why she absolutely had to get it back.
You're lying. But you never gave it back to her. And to make things worse for her, you insisted on showing it to everyone you met. That's why she... I don't believe you.
No, that's a lie.
Mia, are you alright?
The defendant, he's getting away.
Bailiff, hurry, after him. Mia, are you alright?
Yes, I think so.
That boy, he went completely insane.
Where's Mr. Wright?
It looks like the bailiff caught him, so he should be back soon enough.
Thank goodness. Oh no!
What is it?
The bottle necklace. Miss Hawthorne's present. It's gone!
What? That's terrible!
Mr. Wright must have grabbed it when Mr. Wright must have grabbed it when he slammed into me.
Foolish boy. That's the only thing that could have saved him. What in blazes are we supposed to do now? Fuck! Shit. Mr. Wright, this sort of behavior is unprecedented in the history of this court.
I'm sorry. I'm afraid your apology is not enough. Mr. Wright, what did you do with the bottle necklace?
Forgive me. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Just give back the necklace. I ate it. You what?
You ate it?
It was too big to swallow, so I had to chew it into little bits first. But yeah, the man ate glass. And metal. And a necklace chain. What? Huh?
Oh.
What the? What?
What is he doing now?
Probably dying from internal bleeding? Your Honor, you've got to stop the trial. Mr. Wright, are you feeling okay? Does your stomach hurt? That bottle you swallowed may have had some poison left in it. It seems the defendant has proven the prosecution's case for us. Clearly that bottle did not contain a deadly poison. How can you be so sure? I think that's obvious. As you can see, the defendant is still very much alive. It requires 2 teaspoons, dumbass. As for the poison, more like a fledgling defense attorney's overactive imagination.
So it would seem.
No, there must be some mistake. Phoenix, start dying. The bottle must not have had any poison left in it. Either that or the poison must have lost its potency. There. It's all right, rookie. Trusting your client is the most noble thing a defense attorney can do. And it's heartwarming to see that you place this much faith in Mr. Wright. Okay, but he still ate glass, idiots. Take him to the hospital. No, eating glass is fine, actually. But that's how it is for us on the prosecution side, too. For example, I would trust the witness Miss Hawthorne with my very life. Am I gonna have to fight Ricky here in the mirror dungeon? You mean in the story or like, yeah, in the mirror dungeon? I don't think Ricardo is a boss in the mirror dungeon. I'm pretty sure he's not. Because he's like a gimmick boss. Which is why I could state that her assessment of her is completely wrong.
That's enough. Unfortunately, Miss Faye, I cannot accept your explanation of the events.
But why?
This may be impossible for a beginner like you to understand, but in a court of law, evidence is everything.
Ugh. Even after I proved so much, is she gonna get away with everything?
Well, now that the suspicion surrounding Miss Hawthorne has been cleared up, I would like to proceed with the trial.
Phoenix? Mr. Wright? I'm sorry, Miss Faye. It totally slipped my mind. I'm really, really sorry. I know you believed in me, and I feel like I really let you down. Mr. Wright, you're the one who's gonna go to prison, dumbass. What are you trying to say? The
there's something I forgot to tell you.
What is it?
That day I met Doug Swallow.
That girl, you shouldn't see her anymore.
Hey, it's none of your business.
I'm telling you for your sake. If you continue to see her, it's gonna be bad news.
You're lying.
Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl. Last night, someone stole some poison from our lab.
Poison?
The same thing happened 8 months ago. A drug sample was stolen. She came to the lab that time too. It could only have been her. That girl is a thief.
Stop it! Don't talk about her like that. Raging demon.
Unshrimp. Unshrimpin'. Sitting so comfy. Is that true? Did he really say that?
That's ridiculous. There's one more thing. After I pushed him that day, I got worried and came back to have a look. And she was there. Dolly was right there. She was crouched down next to him.
What?
And in the picture you could see where it had rained where his body was before she moved it. She told me to not ever tell anyone about it, but I'm sorry, Dolly.
Your Honor, the defendant is...
Miss Faye, you tell them. Dolly didn't do it. She's innocent.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. So Dahlia stole poison 8 months ago too, huh? If you put that together with Mr. Wright's testimony... Also, why are these pharmacology students producing poison at this rate? How often could you possibly need untraceable poison for pharmacology? Huh? And there's only one possible conclusion. The defense believes that Miss Dahlia Hawthorne stole some poison on the night before she killed Doug Swallow. The government sponsored. Okay, fair enough.
The night before.
Naturally, her motive for stealing it was to kill someone. The difference between medicine and poison is usually just dosage. Yeah, I mean, I guess. But they specifically put it through a process so that it couldn't be traced.
Miss Faye,
if you're so certain of your theory, then let me ask you this.
Yeah, this is your last chance. Think carefully now. There's something that she desperately wanted to get back. Therefore...
Exactly who was Miss Dahlia Hawthorne planning to kill?
I mean, it was Phoenix. Doi. There was one person that was standing squarely in Miss Dahlia Hawthorne's way. And that person was... Mr. Phoenix Wright.
B?
That's preposterous! After all, it was Doug Swallow that was murdered. Well, it's true that that's how things worked out. But let's remember that Mr. Swallow died of electrocution, not poison. The person that Miss Hawthorne was planning to poison was, in fact... Is Francie here? I think... So this is right when Mia became a lawyer, so she's fucking... I can't tell. Oh, Phoenix is 21 right here. And, I think Francie is 19 when she's a lawyer. And he becomes a lawyer, what, like 24? So she's probably, like, I don't know, like 15, like in high school right now. You, Phoenix Wright, there's no one else that it could be.
But how can that be? I thought Mr. Wright and Miss Hawthorne were in love.
Poor Mr. Wright. This must be killing him. Hang in there. I'll bring her to justice, I swear it. Francisca's been a lawyer since 13? What? Oh yeah, she has. As I said before, the only thing Miss Hawthorne truly cared about was... Well, she's just a lawyer in Germany then, right now. The one piece of evidence linking her to that incident 8 months ago. Just a joke because you said Mr. Phoenix Wright. I mean, that's what Mia is calling him. Oh, I guess she's just calling him Mr. Right. Foolish, right? That's right. The bottle necklace. It's all she cared about.
But even so, why would she go so far as to murder him?
Kate Siska von Katma. I'm not good with a whip, but I do have a revolver. And I could shoot the defense attorney with it. Is that allowed? Can I do that? Like if I just wing them? 8 months ago, just after the fall of that attorney in the basement cafeteria, Dahlia Hawthorne could think of only one thing. How to get rid of the bottle necklace as quickly as possible. No, it can't be. It was a pretty good move she made, too. The evidence was missing for a long time. Von Karma didn't get caught for 15 years, so yeah, probably. No, I mean like in the courtroom, like where they're beating each other. I would just whip out a fucking revolver. I guess I could just like shoot it in the air or something. Or like shoot it at Phoenix's head so it like goes through between his hair and it like makes him a little bald sometimes. It was a pretty good move she'd made too. The evidence was missing for a long time. But there was just one big problem. Although she got him to hide the evidence, Mr. Wright refused to return it to her. To him, the tiny little bottle was a cherished treasure. It's a court gun. They'd survive. They'd survive now if it was a cutscene gun. Oh no, I would never use it as a cutscene gun. I'm above board. He even showed it to everyone he met.
You mean that's why she tried to kill Mr. Wright?
Correct, Your Honor. It was to retrieve that piece of evidence.
That can't be true! Oh!
Feeny, what a joke you are. Honestly, how can any woman ever count on you for anything? I even told you time and time again to keep your trap shut about me and that necklace. You disgust me.
Miss Hawthorne?
It appears that we're nearing the end of this trial. Fine. I can tell you plan on making me into a criminal no matter what I say. You are a criminal, Miss Hawthorne. We'll see about that. But first, where's your evidence? It seems your sniveling little crybaby of a client has eaten the bottle as a snack. Well, hey, old man, are you senile or something? Why don't you say something instead of sitting there with that dumb look on your face?
Miss Hawthorne, what's happened to you?
Are you really that shocked? Or do you prefer me this way, Mr. Judge? I don't like that sound in response to that, Judge. I think you should really be thinking with your head, like the upper one. With absolutely no proof, you treat a voluntary witness like she's a mass murderer. Well, I have nothing more to say. I'll be heading home now, if you don't mind.
But we're not finished.
Fine. Then ask this nasty old hag to finish up already. Yo, bitch! Get the fuck back here!
Stop, Mia. If you keep on pushing without any evidence, you can pay the ultimate price as a lawyer.
The ultimate price?
You would be forced to take off your attorney's badge forever, I'm afraid.
Yeah, you'd lose your license if you got disbarred. Yeah. No! Calling a 23-year-old a hag when she's 20 is crazy. It's like using baldy as an insult for people who aren't bald. You'd better think it over carefully, Miss Faye. Or should I say, Miss Gray. Because you're old?
Well, Miss Faye, can you provide evidence that would establish her guilt once and for all?
If I mess up here, my career as a lawyer is over. But to be honest, at this point I don't have any evidence that's well-founded. Even so, I'd rather lose my attorney's badge than let her get away with murder. Your Honor, the defense would like to present proof. Impossible! You can't possibly! Stupid woman. That's right, I'm also a misogynist.
It is the opinion of the court that there has already been enough discussion. Therefore, I will allow only one piece of evidence to be presented.
Just one?
If you are unable to establish her guilt, then I'm afraid that very harsh verdict will immediately be handed down on Mr. Wright.
I understand, Your Honor. I can just imagine the headlines for tomorrow's newspaper. Up-and-coming lawyer plummets to earth before she gets the chance to soar. She was planning to poison Mr. Wright. If that's the case, then the poison was probably in there.
Well then, Miss Fay, please present your evidence. Show to this court irrefutable proof that Miss Hawthorne was planning to poison Mr. Wright.
It was in the Cold Killer X, baby! Here it is, Your Honor. The evidence that will prove her guilt once and for all.
Cold Killer X? Phoenix Wright's beloved cold medicine.
Does our rookie defense attorney have a bit of a cold? If I did, I still wouldn't take this cold medicine. After all, it's been poisoned.
Ooh, what?
Remember what the defendant said in his testimony? But I lost my bottle of it around lunchtime on the day of the accident. It's because fucking, It's because Swallow fucking grabbed it during lunch to test it for poison. I always eat with Dolly, just the two of us. She was the one who took his bottle of Cold Killer. Never mind, I was wrong as hell. Then she poisoned it, knowing Mr. Wright was going to take some. Now you're really grasping at straws. After all, it was the victim, Doug Swallow, that was holding the medicine. I would like the court to recall the crime that happened here 8 months ago. Where did Miss Hawthorne hide the evidence?
Huh? What are you talking about?
8 months ago, the poison was hidden in her bottle necklace, which she then gave to someone else for safekeeping. Someone she had accidentally run into in the reading room, my client, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Yes, that's right. She did the same thing this time as well. Her ass isn't even sweating. No, she's just like, it's cool. If I get sentenced to death, I'm actually cool with it. I just like when people die, to be honest. After shoving the victim, Mr. Phoenix Wright left the scene of the crime. Ryoshu moment, honestly. That's when the murderer, Dahlia Hawthorne, appeared. With her, she was carrying the poisoned bottle of Cold Killer X. This, of course, was so she could carry out her plan to murder Mr. Wright.
I believe she did testify that she was going to meet with the defendant.
Yes, and she heard and saw everything that happened at the scene of the crime, including what the defendant and victim were arguing about, and the cut electrical cable. That's when she realized, I can't allow Doug Swallow to live. She used the severed electrical cable to silence him forever. Unfortunately for her, this is when the problem occurred. Mr. Wright, who she thought had left the scene, came back to check on the victim. And on top of that, because of the power outage, some students showed up as well. Doug swallowed his last. It's hardly any wonder that she was, as she put it, in a state of panic. Recall that she was carrying that bottle of poisoned cold medicine. She must have thought, what if they searched me like they did 8 months ago? 8 months ago? Yes, she disposed of the evidence exactly the same way as she did back then. She had someone else hold it. In this case, Doug Swallow. Honestly, I find that really, really hard to believe. Because someone who dies to electrocution will be convulsing and their muscles will tense. And you won't be able to get them to untense for a while. Just because, you know, they died doing that. I feel it'd be very, very difficult for her to, like, pry his hand open. But, eh. Dots on her ass. Oh, come on now, everyone. Surely you aren't fooled, are you? This stupid woman, she's nothing but a filthy, stinking liar. Right, Mr. Prosecutor? Huh? Yes, that's exactly right. It's just pure desperation. I wonder which one of us is the desperate one. So, Miss Hawthorne, this cold medicine, I wonder if you wouldn't mind taking some. Well, Mr. Wright ate that necklace of yours, right? Now it's your turn to prove your innocence. What do you say? If I'm just a filthy, stinking liar, then there's no need to worry. So come on, show us. I dare you to take some of this medicine right now. Mia Fey! Mia Fey! Do you think you've won? Well, do you, Mia Fey? Oh my god, I didn't realize she was the one who was gonna do the fucking... the fucking Akuma finishing move on my ass. Oh, Christ. That's just fine. For the time being, victory is yours. For the time being? Well, I have a very long memory, you know. You and I will meet again. I'm certain of it. Well then, Mr. Judge, I'll see you later too, okay?
Huh? Yes.
I'm gonna go spend a little quality time with the men in blue now. I wish you all the best. Explosion PNG. Raging Demon. That's what it is. I forgot the name of the move. She was gonna Raging Demon me. Whew. It's finally all over. I refuse to accept this! The defense hasn't shown a scrap of evidence to support their outrageous claim!
But even so, your witness seems to have accepted it.
I don't care! I'm Winston Payne! And I don't believe one word that this rookie lawyer has said! Well then, Mr. Payne, let me ask you this. Yes? Would you care to try this cold medicine? What? Just a little earlier, I could have sworn you said... There. It's all right, rookie. For example, I would trust the witness, Miss Hawthorne, with my very life. So, if she's so trustworthy, then I'm sure there couldn't possibly be any poison in here, right? You see, And here comes the backpedal. Mia's just telling people to kill themselves. Now that's a hell of a strategy for a defense attorney. Number one strategy for a defense attorney. Tell everyone who isn't the judge or your client to kill themselves. Easy win. Come on now, rookie killer. Show this rookie how it's done. How much trust do you really have for this woman? Are you willing to bet your life? No! Anyway, fucking Mia's lawyer aura fully blasted his pompadour off.
Mr. Payne, about Miss Dahlia Hawthorne.
Yes, Your Honor. I'll file papers for her immediate arrest.
Tragic, but not surprising. I knew there was something suspicious about her from the very beginning.
Don't lie, just admit you were wrong.
By the way, Miss Fey?
Yes, Your Honor?
Was it just me, or did you and Miss Dahlia Hawthorne seem to know each other?
Your Honor, whether we did or not has no bearing on this case.
Very well. Mr. Payne.
This can't be happening. It's a nightmare. It's like losing to my daughter.
It appears Mr. Payne has lost his spirit along with his hair. Does the defendant have anything further to say?
It can't be true. My dear Dolly!
Very well. Then, I believe I'm ready to pass judgment and bring this trial to an end. The court finds the defendant, Phoenix Wright.
Not fucking guilty. Not fucking guilty, baby.
Yippee! Wahoo!
Mia's first ever successful trial.
This court is adjourned.
April 11th, 3:16 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 3.
Mia, you were wonderful in there.
Thank you for everything, Mr. Grossberg.
During the verdict, I thought my hemorrhoids were going to explode like Mount Vesuvius. Blood shooting out of my ass. Hey! Hoo-hoo!
Mr. Grossberg, do you, maybe think you could stop talking about them?
That's rather rude. Anyway, this case really made me think. What does it really mean to have a relationship of mutual trust with the client? Perhaps it's veteran lawyers who have lost sight of this.
Oh, Mr. Wright, congratulations.
Thanks. You know, I was thinking...
Go on.
The dolly I saw up there on the witness stand, I don't think it was really her.
What?
Yeah, the dolly I know could never have said those kinds of terrible things. Maybe she was like, I don't know, a fake or something.
Boy, this poor kid still hasn't got a clue. You need to forget about her, Mr. Wright. For your own sake.
Yeah, you're right. That's probably for the best.
Kate's stream is exploding? That sucks. I hate that.
But, out of all my friends, everyone says I'm the most grown up.
No, it's definitely my stream. OBS is just like, what is going on with your fucking, like, I have 4,000 kilobytes per second. I have 5,000. But apparently the connection is very unstable, which sucks. And I really need to do something about it. So if anybody has any fucking suggestions about how to improve my Wi-Fi stability, that would be epic. Ugh, what kind of company does this guy keep?
Right now, I'm studying to become a lawyer myself.
That's what you keep saying. But I thought you were in the art department?
Well, yeah, I am.
Tell your girlfriend to stop playing COD. She's not playing COD because her PS5 is in here in the room where I am, so.
But there's a friend I desperately want to help. And if I hurry, then I should still be able to save him in time.
Her ass will not remember this. No, I will not.
Say, Miss Faye, a lawyer is someone who can help people when they're in trouble, right?
Mr. Wright, I'm still new at this myself, but I think that's exactly what a lawyer is.
Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'll study my butt off. I'll become a lawyer for sure.
I hope we see each other again someday.
Maybe even in court.
LOL, your attorney badge? Are you just now noticing it? I put these props on for a reason, you know. It's been 5 years since I was acquitted of all charges. I became a lawyer like I planned, and I managed to save my friend. But Mia has passed on to a better place. It's comically large. This is a normal-sized lawyer badge. This is normal-sized. For me, this trial brings up a lot of painful memories. But it also brings up some very precious ones. And memories that I thought would never rise to the surface again. Mia's gone now. But even so, I can hear her in my mind. Phoenix, no matter what, always believe in your client. In a court of law, your greatest weapon is your belief. I can't believe her tits got even bigger. So she had to fucking, like, bust her jacket open and wear, like, this, corset. Novelty Party City Grade Attorney Badge. I am a real lawyer. Do not say that in court.
5 long years. Something has happened that's made me think back to her words of wisdom. But that's a story for another day.
And a story for another stream. Oh, fuck yes! It's this guy that everybody likes, and he drinks coffee. He's on theme! No one likes him. Everybody likes him. I know this. I fucking hate him. That's kind of what I expected. Anyway, everybody, my voice is annihilated from doing Mr. Pain, but I think that's an excellent intro to the new Phoenix Wright game, the next Phoenix Wright game. I'm gonna send you guys over to... oh, it looks like somebody, Katarina Rune, is doing a donathon, which is pretty cool. So we'll send some support over her way. Boink. Goodbye, everyone. I hope you had a good time with Phoenix Wright. We'll be back with more Phoenix Wright Fridays. Next Friday, obviously. On Sunday, we're going to be continuing Itora. And depending on the outcome of the poll, we'll either be continuing with the DLC for West of Loathing, or I'll have to find something else to play. We shall see. I hope you all had an excellent time, because I know I did. I hope you have an excellent weekend. And enjoy yourselves. Bye-bye.